Alright guys, so in this video, if I had to start from nothing and something happened to all of my gear, you're like, what is my brain if it comes to what camera I'm gonna get, what lens, what lighting, all that accessories? I'm gonna jump into this right now. If I were to get a new camera, what would my process look like and how would that be? So first off is I would go into my description and go into my Amazon shop so you can see exactly all the gear that I recommend. So first is, let's say I need my video. So if I have, let's say, a $2,000 budget, the first thing I would do is I would definitely recommend something along the lines of a Sony A7C. And as you can see through Amazon, there are a bunch of these different combos and packages here. And honestly, what you'll usually need is just the kit combo. So I'm going to click here, and it usually comes with different types of accessories. And for focal length, I would say a good vlogging, if you're just doing like YouTube types of videos, is that you go anywhere from 28 to 60. If it's on a full frame, that's equivalent to roughly, let's say, 30 to 80, which is a little close. But because it's full frame, 28 is perfect. All right. So let's say I would add that to my cart, but that is assuming that I have a $3,000 budget. But you're like, Peter, man, I don't have that type of budget. So what camera would you recommend if I don't have that? So if you're looking more along the line of the APS-C, the good old nifty Sony A6600 has a headphone jack, shoots in 4K. You have IBIS, which is okay on the Sony cameras. And what would I recommend? I would recommend this camera right here. Not so much of this 18 to 135 kit. I would get just the body. There is the vlogger kit, which comes with a kit lens. If you have it, then if there's the budget, get it. But I would just get the body itself. And then I would look up the Sigma, either 35 1.4 right here for your Sony E-mount, or you get the Sigma 16, which is the equivalent of a same thing, but it's 16. So you're looking at super wide, and with the Sony cameras, I'm going to actually show you a clip right now filmed on a 35 1.4, and it is crisp in terms of autofocus as well as how it overlooks for that really depth of field. But you're like, okay, that is, even if I get like the Sony A6400, right, which doesn't have IBIS, doesn't have any sort of headphone jack, but the price itself is $1,300, right? You get this with the lens, and you're looking at roughly around $2,000 completely. But you're like, okay, that's cool, but I only have $1,000. What do you recommend instead? So what I would do is I would look at the Sony ZV-1, which is a point and shoot. I already have a video on that, link in the description below, but as you can see right here, $899, and it's even cheaper if you're American. And I would highly recommend you get the vlogger accessory, which also comes with the little tripod, as well as it comes with the SD card and all that fun stuff. But you're like, okay, that's not really my type. I don't want a point and shoot. Well, guess what? You are in luck. The Sony just released the Sony ZV-E1, which is not, correct me if I'm wrong, not completely out yet, but that is the camera to get if you're a point and shoot. I think they just killed the game with the vlogging camera. But you're like, Peter, you're on a camera YouTube channel and you talk about Nikon cameras. So I'm like, okay, you can definitely pick up, if you still want to stay within the Nikon family, is the ZFC. As you can see right here, I believe at the time of this filming, you can pre-order it, but it is equivalent of the Nikon Z50 with a flippy screen. So if you're on a really budget, the Nikon Z50, I'm filming this right now with the Nikon Z50, is, you can see, goes for around 1,300, and if you're American, 1,000, straight out of the box with a kit lens 16 to 50, and you can get yourself an adapter which allows you to use all of your lenses. So that was me just covering the basics of all the visuals. So you got your Sonys, you got your Nikons, and your mini pocket Sonys. But okay, what's next? audio is just as important. So if you're a vlogger and you're just shooting this casually at home, I highly recommend you get a Rode shotgun mic. You're like, okay, which one? There's all these different ones. I recommend right here, Rode Video Mic Pro Plus. Retails for $399. You're looking at probably 300, 350 American. And this, the difference between this and all its different little brothers is that it has a battery. It's battery powered, and you can charge this via USB-C, as well as it is a lot more powerful if it did not have a battery, right? If there's a battery and it requires power, chances are it is a solid mic. And you're like, okay, I don't really want the Pro Plus. What would you recommend instead? I would get the Video Mic Pro, which has a 9-volt battery instead of USB-C. It's essentially the same technology, but you're like, okay, I don't have that much budget. I'm trying to stay cheap. I'm trying to like stay within, let's say, under 200. So I would highly recommend you just get the one and only Video Micro, $70, $50 if you're American, and it is no battery. Literally, you just plug and play into your camera. Looks like one of these guys. This is actually D4 Duo. It is a competitor, and you can also get that on Amazon. Link is in the description below. I have a full video on this, and that should cover your audio needs. But if you're looking a little bit more professional, I would highly recommend you get something along the lines of here, right here. Wireless Go, there's a version 2 of this, and it is a lav lapel mic, which allows you to hook on audio to your talents so you can actually hear them and you don't have to worry about them being too far or close to the camera, which is the counterintuitive of actually having a shotgun microphone, is that you only get audio directly on top of the camera. Whereas if I were to move, the sound and volume would constantly change. Hence, if you wanted to use wireless microphones, the only ones I use is the Rode Link, or you can get the exact same one, link in the description below. But you can also get the Rode Go 2 right here. And yes, it is a pricey. You're looking at 400. But when it comes to actually filming, you can have two different receivers, so you can record two people at the same time, as well as you can have this, all this is USB powered compared to the Rode Link where you would have to use batteries. But those are the two mic recommendations that I use personally, as well as if I had to start over from scratch. And last but not least is we're going to talk about lighting. And if you don't know, if you want to stay super hella budget, you can look and just search up ring light, any sort of ring light right now. And the trick is, all these are essentially white labels. They all come from the same factory and same warehouse. And it doesn't really matter which one you use. Do have a little due diligence. Be aware of these little stickers here. Look at your reviews on all these ring light reviews, as well as do your YouTube reviews on that. Check out mine as well, link in the description below, and make sure that they were not paid for this, because if a company pays or send them free things, chances are it's going to be a little biased. So honestly, you can't go wrong with any of these ring lights, but the one that I use is by Newer and Mount Dock. An alternative to that would to be is softbox lighting. So softbox lighting is that sandwich lighting, super cheap. Comes to getting these, you can get two of these for $100. The only con of this is that you will have to have a lot of space, because this will take a lot of space. And if you want to get a little bit more fancy, there are key lights that you can use, or barn door type of LEDs. As you can see here by Godox, I actually have this one and use this one as well as your main key light. But I would highly recommend you stick around the ring light route, because it is a lot cheaper and gets you straight to the point. And last but not least, with every single camera that you do have, you want to make sure you have 2 to 3 different batteries, and you want to have a tripod. So I recommend the Manfrotto Advanced Compact. As you can see, they have the different ones. This is the actually one that I'm using for this YouTube channel, but there are different types of fluid heads. You can get super expensive right here. Travel would be free with a fluid head and leveler. But if you're looking for a decent tripod that's budget, right here, this is your guy, and this is the guy that I use to this day. And That's it, guys. If I had to start complete from scratch, I would look at those three different types of camera options as well as audio. And it really depends on like what exactly are you filming? Are you just filming yourself for a YouTube video? Or are you going to be shooting client testimonial videos? Going to be shooting product pages? You might need a stabilizer. You might need different types of tools, but it all comes down to exactly what is it that you're filming and what's your budget, right? So everything that I just mentioned, link is in the description below. And if you want more of it in detailed training for free, no catch, link in the description below where I literally have a full live stream where I recorded this and I went with you guys to show you exactly how the mindset that you would need to figure out what lens I need, what camera, what lights, all that gear by yours truly. So if you watched this far, make sure you thumbs up this video, hit that like button, and leave a comment below. My name's Peter. You're watching Broke Visionary Collective, where we all start with nothing, but you can always create something.